This is the Deload Podcast. I'm Doug Clinton, co-founder and partner at Deepwater Asset Management. And on this show, I interview founders and CEOs of companies who are shaping where the world is going. Today, I interview Tyllen Bicakcic. He is the CEO and co-founder of Payman. It's a new platform that allows AI agents to pay humans to do work for it. As far as I know, it's the only platform that lets AI pay human beings for work so far. Deepwater just recently invested in the company, and we are very excited about how Payman, I think, can help shape 2025 into the year of the agent. So Tylen and I talk about why he started Payman, how the platform works, and also a little bit about how his background in crypto might shape future products. Now, here is Tyllen from Payman. All right, Tylen, thank you for talking with me about Payman today. Super excited to share with the world kind of what you're doing because I think it's super interesting. And if we just start with the broad concept, right, of AI and human collaboration, I think when you think of that, there's a natural collaboration means economic incentive, right? It means combined productivity. And so maybe we could start there. Like, talk about what inspired you to think about this dynamic of humans collaborating with AI, and what are the important things that have to go right to make it work?
Yeah. So a few things led into that. One was, when agents first started coming out about like a year and a half ago, they made AIs feel like this autonomous thing that could operate on the internet. And as any like autonomous thing or intelligence, you kind of naturally come to the conclusion that this will eventually end up needing like some kind of financial mechanism to pay other things. And my initial thought was, well, AI agents will end up paying AI agents to do things, and they'll each pay each other back and forth, and they'll be collaborating like that, probably on like some crypto means. Was initially what I was thinking, and then my wife got pregnant, and I started thinking more long term about the future of like AI, and either people fall into two camps. It's either the scariest thing in the world, and we should stop what we're doing at all costs, or like it's super exciting and it's going to open up all these like cool potentials and we'll never have to work again. And I spent a lot of time thinking, well, like what would my daughter's world look like in an AI future? And like, I think all of it's still up for debate. So I was like, well, I want to be on the side where it's probably more beneficial to society and it's probably more helpful to her as she grows up. And basically, my conclusion then switched to, well, if AI agents are going to start to become these autonomous, intelligent beings, it would stand to reason that they would be able to spend money maybe just as good as us, if not better, probably better than us. And they might look to us as humans to be like, well, I could use you to complete tasks that I can't do, or you can help me complete tasks. And then I started going into the thing, well, how, if AI is kind of there today, how do we then get to the point where we can start to pay us today to do things to help it? That's kind of where a lot of my thinking has been. Like, it's not easy for anyone to open up a bank account and walk into Chase and do that. So, like, you have to build things to make that happen. That's kind of what we're doing here with.
And so it's two directions I want to go. I want to talk more about the agent side and just like what the world should expect from that piece. But I want to start maybe with the human side, where if you think about this world where AI agents are more autonomous and they're booking flights for us, right? Or they're ordering dinner for us and things like that. What are some examples you like to think about where AI agents just aren't naturally good at doing something where a human is really great to step in?
Well, today they're not good at a lot of things, which is good for us.
Yeah.
I think, like, if you look at even the most basics of like LLMs, they're not good at math. They're not good at they can't tell you what the weather is today. They have to plug into all these other external factors to make them good, which is great for developers because then they can go and like build those things to help the agents get. And kind of when we look at like, I always like taking like a product manager as an example. If we look at a product manager and like what they do really well, they they understand what a product is, they understand how like the product will move forward in the future, understand what problem areas they have to focus on. They do a lot of that by talking to users. And one thing like an AI agent can't really do that easily is to go out and talk to people and like incentivize them to give them information. So when you don't have like added context, then you can't perform your job as well. And it's almost like AI today doesn't have access to added content that might make it better. And we see that like we see that in AI all the time with like training data. It always needs more training data because it needs more context. It just needs it more structured and do those things. But humans are the same way. We learn things that we don't know by like going out, fetching it, and then labeling it, or like our brains works, labeling it ourselves, and then going and executing all the tasks. And I think like
That make
AI today can't really do that well, so you need to build things to help it do that.
And when you think about that world where, obviously AI is not great at doing a lot of different things. In the future, it'll get better at a lot of different things. Um, but trying to define like what is that thing that humans can do that's unique and maybe a persistent advantage? Is it is the future of the world built on something that looks like, the kind of budget level experience is going to be fully AI powered? And maybe there's some up leveled experience where you mentioned humans can talk to other humans, they can kind of learn more dynamically. Like, is there an up leveled experience then that you think where humans kind of fit into this agent paradigm?
Yeah, I think so. I think like I thought of this as let's say you have 160 IQ agents, or AI. Let's just use it. So you have 160 IQ AI. Even 160 IQ people today still rely on other humans to help them do things, and it's from all varying ranges of like IQ. And I think one thing I saw like Zuckerberg post recently is like we're taking just like one facet of like human experience and trying to replicate it in AI, which is intelligence. There's like much more things that make a human. There's like emotional empathy, which I think like an AI doesn't really fully understand yet. There's a lot of like physical tasks that maybe you can put it into a robot, but that's almost you can scale robots as quickly as you can, maybe faster than you can scale humans, but there's still like limitations there. And then I think about it as like the base level experience. I mean, you kind of see it play out today with like ChatGPT. You have like lesser models that are free, and then you pay for access for more intelligent ones. And then once a more intelligent one comes in, they bump that one down and give you like the base experience, and like intelligence starts to cost more. I think that like budget situations might look different if you're talking like you use the example of like buying a flight or something, like an agent going and buying a flight for you. Like I think that will probably all just be built into like something like Apple's iPhone, and I will do that. We probably won't even notice that we're paying for it, or in our own ways. So to me, the higher higher level experience comes down to like what the developers will build and like what they basically paywall for those kinds of experiences. I think AI is reaching out and talking to humans to get them to do tests and pay them will definitely be a thing that will be like built into systems, and how companies decide to charge for that is on them. I have my own thoughts on how they might be able to go about and do that, but whether they offer that as like a you know thing where like you go and like you pay the AI specifically, and then the AI is like, okay, I'm going to go pay someone else, or if the companies just have a budget assigned to that AI, like you would a regular employee to like say, oh, if you're having trouble with this task, you go and like you pay to figure with the human. So it's, I mean, there's lots of then yet not how it'll play out, but I know that two things are going to be true. Like they're going to get smarter, and the more tools that you can build for them is going to like lead to what kind of experiences you can create.
100%. Yeah, I think, and the developer side of it too, what developers create, to your point, is going to be a big, I think, deciding factor of what human opportunities are. And as I think about humans being part of this AI model driven future, it feels like there could be like two classes or two outcomes. I'm curious how you think about the two. One is, do the human workers in this new world, are they kind of more like Uber or Lyft drivers where it's basically just based on how much time you're willing to give to the system, but the pay is relatively stable? Or do you think it's more like the creator economy where maybe certain humans for certain tasks can charge way more than other humans? What does that look like? How does that play out?
I think it's I think it'll be more like the second one. It might be a combination of both. I want it to be more like the second one because I think what you'll end up seeing is like AI, especially, and if we go into AI agents, they understand how to create some tasks for work. So you give them a goal, they're really good at reasoning about how to like go out, create subtasks, and understand, oh, I need to execute this subtask before I go to this next one. So in a way, they're like really efficient at handling work routing. And what you want is for an AI, ideally, if they find a job that they think, well, someone else can do this, like Doug can do this better than me, I'm going to go to Doug and I'm going to ping him and be like, hey, Doug, like, I'll pay you 33% more for this task than I would another human because, like, your skill set and what I'm looking for resonates here. And then what you end up to start getting into is like AI as being this almost like understanding of the skills of people and knowing how to give them the right work that way. And to me, as like time goes on, depends on what kind of tasks you have. There will be times where like humans will be competing with other AIs. So like an AI specific, yeah, that's perfect in like product management will be competing with another a human that's great at product management. And then at that point, you start creating more of a competitive, like open marketplace. And I think that AI should compete in that marketplace. And then it's almost like however most marketplaces happen, like you get rewarded, like great skills get rewarded with much higher value. And then you think of like the smaller tasks that are more mundane, that like most humans can go and do, like there will also be a price for that. That will probably be priced in by the AI. So it's almost like this interesting economic problem that AI can like work to solve. And like that only happens because and like they can't do this today. So I don't want people to think, oh shit, like what what is happening here? Basically the thing you have to teach an AI is also how to spend money. An AI today, like I said, it doesn't know what the weather is today. It doesn't know how to do as well. An AI also doesn't understand how to spend money. You can teach an AI how to spend money by teaching it pricing trends, teaching it what people pay for certain amounts of tasks. And then you go and you feed that data, and then the AI ends up like learning and using that to price tasks better to people. And then you feed it in also information on people's backgrounds, and now you have like this perfect combination where it's human action.
I mean, the marketplace analogy I think is perfect, right? Where if you have a base level task, you should be assumed, the economic value of that is fairly low, and if you have some specialized task, hopefully the economic value of that's really high. And what I think is so much fun, and maybe I buried the lead a little bit here, is that you are building, that platform, that marketplace with Payman. You just raised $3 million. Deepwater participated as part of that financing. We're very excited to be a part of it. So
So
tell us a little more about, now you've helped us establish this vision of kind of humans and AI working together. How do you think about then creating the marketplace and recognizing that vision, making it a reality?
yeah, so it's what we're doing literally right now. The first thing you need to do is you know, the, you have to think of like the liquidity on the platform. The liquidity on the platform comes from developers. The thing that we're like blessed with is like we have tons of humans wanting to come and like work with the AI. And what you're kind of seeing is from like even a human viewpoint, like people don't care whether or not it's an AI. They just like want some extra money in their pocket. And for like the people with like highly skilled services, they also want extra money in their pocket because they've seen how like we used to think that robots would come and like take whatever a low skill job looks like. Really, it's like going after like these high skill labor forces and like these services marketplaces and things like that. So like then these people are coming to pay and being like, we want to help provide services to the AI, and it's pretty nice because even though the AI is like going after these jobs first, I'd say like it still needs a lot of hand holding. Um, so the human side is, I feel like the human side is there, and especially for Payman, it's there now. What the thing is like going to developers and basically being like, you guys are the ones making the tasks. You guys are the ones providing liquidity to the platform, how do we help you understand like where your AI can perform better, where you can create new experiences that it hasn't been able to create before? If you think about it, adding a human into the loop with an AI, if you put those two things together, you get pretty darn close to AGI. So it's like just by like circumventing around it. So let's get you guys this, and let's figure out how do you start like plugging into the platform and like connecting with these humans, or assigning tasks to humans that you already know that are specialized to do these tasks. And that's just making it super easy for the AI to do. So developers, super important. They're the ones that like we're really to like use the platform. And they're excited to use it. I think that's a pretty nice sell for us. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Is there like a I would imagine like cultural or philosophical alignment sometimes you find with developers where I'm sure there's some developers where they say, look, we just want to only use AI agents and purely be machine driven. But I'm sure there's a lot of devs who say, yeah, like this makes total sense, right? If we want an agent that can do anything, it's going to be a long time before an AI can literally do anything. But when you bring humans into the mix, you get that dynamic reality.
I've yet to find one AI developer that doesn't want humans in the mix necessarily.
Interesting.
Like it's basically like they know they can do more. Like it's an added advantage to what they're doing, either whether it's like review what this AI is spitting out, additional context, go do a task that you couldn't do before. Like the the means by which you can go and like improve responses now is very much like siloed internally into the company. It's like workers and these things like we need to keep improving it, but improving it this way. What we basically offer is like we're going to connect you to a bunch of other people that can help that are specialized in these skill sets and things that you might need. And it's sometimes an analogy I make to it is like a little bit of what we're doing is kind of has scale AI help LLMs and helps LLMs become better, like going out,
Mhm.
training the data, etc. You need to do a similar thing for like AI agents. And like the way you do that is by bringing humans in the loop to like help with these outputs and those things. So it's like Payman can offer the same way, and we just let the agent pay for that information instead of like an LLM model.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes a ton of sense.
yeah.
And when you think about the platform, what is sort of your timing in terms of starting to have people getting paid by AI?
Yeah. So probably next week we so a key part of Payman is we have basically verification agents that are checking the work of the human to see if it like adheres to what the AI agent is asking for. And the reason why we have verification agents is both to protect the AI agent, but also to protect the human. You don't want an AI to go view your work, say, this is incorrect, I'm not going to pay that for you, steal your work because it's digital, and then you not get paid for it. So we kind of are the middle party between both the funds that are being sent and the information that's being sent to the end. So we finalized basically our work on that this week, and then we've already started onboarding developers this week. We're going to start posting out tasks next week. We have our own AIs internally. I shared one where it was basically our first marketing was a marketing agent we built internally. And we thought we went back and forth like, should I hire a CMO? Should I hire an agency? Should I do this? I was like, why don't I just build an AI that understands all the context of Payman, understands all, the marketing principles that we like, to promote on Twitter, to do all these things, and then come up with plans. And when it comes up with these plans, it goes out and we give it a budget of $1,000 or 2,000 and say like create tasks for people to go out and execute. Like, I need you to go, if it's a valuable influencer, I want you to post something on Twitter, on Twitter. I'll pay you, $200 to do that. Voila. This is the first time in history that an agent can go and like actually act on the task to like go incentivize people to go do things for it. And it's a huge unlock. So right away, it's changed how we think about hiring.
And will you be sharing how the marketing agent does, how they perform their
Oh
task?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
that's why like the key thing is now that we're posting these tests, we need to actually like we need verification. Verification's complete, and then I shared a video on Twitter of the whole how we build the marketing agent and like how it works and things like it spit out things like I'll pay you to like to get like it will go and be like I'll pay you to run an event for me. And AI can't go and
Mhm.
create all the things for an event, but if a human goes out and does all these things, it's like and then they show proof of work, basically proof of work did this, then we should be able to reward them for their work. And the AI
Yeah.
essentially gets an executed task done by a human that they can't do today. And I would even think if there were robots in the real world, you know, it'll be a while before we want to turn it's all around robots. And I still think the
Yeah.
human experience will be something that will will only over time become like if it becomes more scarce, it'll become more valuable. And I think we stand to benefit from that.
Scarcity is always tied to value as
Scare.
long as whatever's scarce is valuable.
Yes, yes, yeah. And hopefully, I think the you know towards humans, I imagine the human experience should always be valuable. I don't, you know, I know that there are other conversations, or I think Elon
Yeah.
put something about like the speciest conversations or things like that between him and the founder of Google. But yeah, I stand on the side that we should be very pro-human in our approaches.
Agreed. Here, here.
Yeah,
You mentioned well, scarcity is a topic for crypto too, but we said
yeah,
proof of work. My mind went back to crypto. I know some of your roots come from the crypto world.
yeah.
How do you think about, crypto as part of potentially this whole dynamic of agents paying humans, maybe other agents too at some point?
Yeah. So in crypto, with like proof of work, that's one. The other, that's one thing. The other thing, like Coinbase Ventures invested in us as well, and like we have, like when you come to the understanding of paying money to people, like it's like fiat is great for like certain countries, but for like a global marketplace, USDC and like these stable coins and even different means of crypto make it way easier to like pay people in a way that's accessible to talent all around the world. And our first thing there is like, how do we pay people? If I want to go pay people in India or the Philippines or other places in Europe, our platform today runs on USD. Well, if we want it to run on things where those people can accept USDC or a stable coin still like has like the strength and value of what the dollar is, but people in other countries get to like experience that and get rewarded for their work. And crypto makes that super easy to like pay people for these kinds of things. So in an AI world, it's just like a natural next step. I initially thought it would just be AI agents paying other AI agents and like crypto wallets would be their bank accounts. But as we like, you know, we're starting to dive into building Payman using crypto wallets just out front. There's, obviously like KYC and AML things that you need to be wary of. So I think what stands to benefit for companies like us is these kind of players like Coinbase, Binance, other players like that like have all these built-in KYCs, understand how like their customers are coming in and like still get the benefits of like sending, USDC across the world with like way less transaction fees than other platforms and getting to like give more people access to this. So that's one.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
leverage that
yeah,
existing infrastructure. Yeah.
yeah,
Leveraging
yeah,
the existing infrastructure makes a ton of sense. Yeah.
yeah. I think, and it's like, if you look at, kind of how we talked about developers for us are super important. There's a huge intersection between crypto and AI developers. And I think both of these are these emerging technologies that people are excited about, that they see a lot of opportunity in. Um, there's been a lot more crypto developers than there have been AI agent developers. And I think like for us to be able to tap into that and basically go to the crypto world and say like, hey, not only do we have like crypto payments, but we can introduce this new idea to you, which is like AI agents get you being able to build like new, businesses with AI agents leveraging crypto. It's a lot easier to like write an agent than it is a smart contract. So I think that the developers would appreciate those things. And, it's one of the reasons why we're excited to, we should have USDC payments very soon on Payman as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple times that the idea initially was sort of about helping agents pay other agents. Is that still part of the vision, or is it really just about human to agent now?
Well, I view it as like, right now it's agent to human or AI
Mhm.
to human, AI automation to human, however people want to spin that. But basically, the human on the other side, like, why wouldn't it be, if you're out there completing tasks, why wouldn't, like, for certain types of tasks that require, certain levels of knowledge or things, why couldn't it be a human with like an army of their own AI agents, seeing what other AI agents are looking for and willing to pay for, and like you completing tasks that way? So, in a roundabout way, like, however people want to leverage completing tasks, they can do that. In 6 months, a year from now, do we see like other agents actually signing up on our platform and like going and completing tasks? Yeah, I think so. But there's some things there where like you need to really look at like, AML type stuff, like KYC. Like, if an agent is coming to like complete tasks on my platform autonomously, how do I know? And realistically, they can get paid in like a crypto wallet, which they should probably leverage a Payman wallet to get paid in, honestly. But if they're doing a crypto wallet, we need extra like KYC, make sure like where is this agent from, what is the background, like even those things today are tricky to understand, but it's like things that we're focused on trying to like build out because an agent should be able to come to a platform like Payment and do that. But I think regulatorily wise, it's a little tricky just independently for them to do it.
It's harder. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
So I'm curious about vision too, and kind of some of the final questions I have for you. When you think about where the agent world is going, I kind of think 2025 could be the year of the agent. I know some people maybe thought that was going to be this year, but I feel like we're getting more of that momentum that'll carry us into next year, and we're going to have agents doing a lot for us in 25. Do you see a world where there's, maybe one or two agent platforms that sort of dominate everything? And how does payment fit to that? Or do you think it's a world where there's a lot of very different, maybe small specialized agents that serve different tasks?
I think it's definitely a lot of different agents serving different tasks. I think how those agents are built depends on what platforms win out there. There's a lot of agent building frameworks today. There's LangChain, there's Crew AI, there's AutoGen, AutoGPT. Tons of people building these things to make it easy to build agents. Um, what I like sometimes to me that's like a pretty niche space today. It's definitely growing, and we're in the space, so we want it to grow. The other side of things that I see is automations being like very powerful, and like companies today still are leveraging AI automations as well as they can be. And what an AI automation means is almost like you can think of Zapier, where you create like a whole stringent loop of like different things that it wants to do, but in the midst of there are some AI components to it. Like, if I want basically an AI to go write an email, and then I want an AI, like I want a human to like come check it, and then I want to plug it into, a sending platform like Outreach, I can build that whole automation on Zapier. That almost operates like an agent, but for like one special task function. And for me, I think that AI automations are where the future, like you'll start seeing this blend with AI automation and AI agents. And the people that are building like tools to make those more valuable will like gain to stand a lot of benefit. Someone, I think it was a few people, Zuckerberg and someone at Google said this, where it's like a lot of companies are over investing in the space right now because it's like there's more risk in under investing in the space than over investing in the space because
Yeah.
there's not been a technology like this to basically give you the power of like infinite intelligence at the palm of your hands. So companies are gonna, companies like us, companies like, all these other agent frameworks are betting on the fact that this technology will become more prevalent to people that are using it. And like the technology will only get smarter, better, and cheaper as we keep seeing it with each model instance that comes out. Like those, the people that stand to benefit keeps it like if you're not a developer building an AI, be a developer building an AI, learn it, learn how to implement it, learn how to go to a company, basically say, here's this AI, or here's this AI agent that can do the specific task for you. There's probably hundreds of AI SDRs right now. And like they're each going selling and they can do things that blow people's minds right now with like just all of the automation they can do. And that's like opening up so much more financial potential for the people using that. That to me, these kind of specialized agents are gonna like start taking over really quick. And how you help support those specialized agents, you're gonna like if you come up with companies that do that, then you're gonna start to like make a good chunk of change.
So maybe my last question, if we think
Yeah.
about this world that we're moving toward, where we do have these specialized agents you're talking about, some of them bring in humans for certain tasks, like what does the world look like if Payman is successful at its mission 5 years from now,
Yeah. So when we're successful, it's going to
when you're
look a lot
successful?
like, yeah, when we're
Good correction.
successful. No, it's good because I've spent a lot of time thinking it's a very philosophical question. Sometimes one of our investors reached out to us and they were like, like in the future, wins, it's like kind of weird and I definitely don't want this to happen. Like people can almost view this as like an AI religion. Like if you just get paid from this AI entity and like you don't know where it is, it's like this is the same kind of things that start to a lot of it is like we teach people that AI isn't scary. We teach people that AI can like be helpful to us and like free us up to do more of what we enjoy. And that's my goal with it is like let's build valuable AI agents. Let these AI agents do more of the work for other people so that we can enjoy doing our own work. And if the AI agents, if they continue at the path that they are, which I believe they will, which they can reason, I think GPT-3 came 2 years ago, and like what we have today would make when GPT-3 first came, it looked like this incredible thing. Like no one can believe. Like I could create an email in the voice of Benjamin Franklin. Like I can do that. That's crazy. And now what it can do today, like just puts that to rest. So for us, it's basically like if these models keep getting better at reasoning, which they will, it stands to be the thing. Like it should be able to take in the information, write work to people, and understand like, hey, you're the best person to do this kind of work that I can. And in that sense, more people are enjoying the work that they're doing. And if it comes down to like the AIs are sending us, work that we don't enjoy doing, like you don't have to do that. That's fine. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I still believe there will be human jobs. I still believe that AI will help people learn things that they couldn't do before. I think that in all, we should like it's almost this like renaissance, this enlightenment. We're in an enlightenment period right now. More people can be more intelligent by this tech. And when payment is like having humans get paid, it's I use this where it's like today 100% payments are human to human.
Mhm.
Years from now, when payments are AI to human and payments helping basically make these rails possible, humans are going to be more free to go and explore more of what they enjoy. I think we've already seen that with AI. What people can do before, what took them a week, they can do that in a day now. And when Payman makes it easy for AIs to even do more for you, you'll have more free time. We'll have better companies, we'll have better, like experiences, which is why globally it is so important that America stays on top of AI. And that we're the ones that make this possible because it's, I think, like, the idea of America lends well to the idea of AI, and we should like make sure that all the innovation, like the cutting edge innovation, happens here. So the world can.
Well said. Here, here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Way
No,
to close. Yeah. I mean,
no,
competitive or comparative advantage, right, is undefeated in
yeah,
economics. And I think that's what you're fundamentally enabling with the
yeah.
payment platform. So it's exciting to be invested in you. Talon, where can people learn more about Payman?
Yes. So we are onboarding developers as of this week. If you go to paymanai.com, you can find out more. You can sign up. You can also find me on Twitter, 0xTylon, and basically DM me. I'll get you access. And then if you're a human, same thing, paymanai.com, sign up, which developers are humans too, but easy distinction between
For now.
developers and human. Yeah, for now. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly. That's a good point. So they can go on those places, and yeah, reach out there. Happy to get you guys onboarded, and yeah, happy to have your first AI payments to humans happen. It'll be you. I know people will get as excited as I did when we started seeing basically come up with a random task and then get an email notification, and it's like, hey, our marketing agent wants to pay you to do this. Like, do you accept this or not? It's like, well, I just got a random message from it. I said, I want to give me money. Send me
Give me
more.
money.
Like, yeah. So,
That's right. Excellent. Yep. Everybody go sign up for
yeah.
Payman. Tyllen, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug.